Many runners assume that the most important thing you can do when getting into heart rate training is to figure out your exact heart rate zones, targets, levels at which you want to be training. But the fact of the matter is that the most important piece of the puzzle when it comes to heart rate training is recognizing that this is infinitely better than this. In today's video, I'm going to talk about why anybody who is serious about heart rate training has to ditch the heart rate sensor on their watch in favor of wearing a heart rate strap. As you would probably assume when it comes to heart rate training, being able to accurately measure your heart rate during your training is kind of important. It's almost like it's in the name, heart rate training. I'll spare you the deep dive into the intricacies of exercise physiology, but I hope we can at least agree that accuracy of measurement of the heart rate matters. If you're off 1 or 2 beats per minute based on your exact heart rate and what your sensors are telling you, it's probably not the end of the world. But if you're off by 5, 10, 15, maybe even 20 beats, either plus or minus, it's probably an issue, right? You're probably not going to be getting the impact of training that you're hoping for when your readings are that far off. And that right there is the reason that you really need to invest in a heart rate strap if you're serious about heart rate training and not just rely on the sensor that is on your watch. Now, if you're thinking to yourself,
"But Diz, my fancy running watch actually measures my heart rate."
Let me stop you right there, because actually the fancy running watch that you have, and quite frankly that I have, does not measure your heart rate. But don't take my word for it. Here's what it actually says on the Garmin website. Devices that offer all-day health insights based on heart rate monitoring data rely on the Garmin Elevate heart rate technology sensor, an optical sensor built into the back of your device. It detects your heart rate by shining a green light through your skin, which is reflected by the red blood cells in your skin's blood vessels. When your heart beats, the muscular contraction of the heart itself pushes a rush of blood through your circulatory system. The cycles of this pulsing blood flow are your heart rate or pulse and can be detected throughout your body. Your Garmin watch conveniently measures your heart rate at the wrist. With all due respect, bullshit. Your watch is not measuring your heart rate, it's actually measuring blood flow. From where I sit, that sounds pretty damning about using the wrist-based heart rate sensor, but it's not even the worst thing that is found right on Garmin's website. Consider this. The watch constantly samples your heart rate with our latest generation heart rate sensor and will alert you if it stays too high or too low while you're at rest. It also helps gauge how hard you work during activities, even while swimming. So while Garmin and other running watch companies would have you believe that their watch is constantly measuring your heart rate during activity, what it's actually doing is only reporting samples of your heart rate, not the constant measurement up and down as you go. And again, if we're talking about heart rate training, accuracy matters. And knowing what your heart rate is at any given moment, kind of important. Which brings me to the final point that Garmin makes in favor of actually not using Garmin's watch to measure your heart rate during activity. The other option for measuring heart rate is to pair a compatible heart rate strap with your smartwatch. A heart rate strap measures the electrical signals that fire in your heart as it beats. However, this method is typically only used during recorded activities. Wearing an elastic strap around your chest isn't practical for round-the-clock monitoring, but these heart rate straps can provide reliable data even during the most vigorous, high-intensity physical activity. Thank you! As if there was any more reason to say, yeah, I need to get a heart rate strap. Garmin tells you right there that that's exactly what you need to do. The heart rate strap is more accurate during vigorous activity, and it actually measures the electrical conductivity of your heart, aka your actual heartbeat. Still not convinced that the sensor on your watch isn't quite as accurate as an actual heart rate strap? Cool. Maybe this journal article from the American College of Cardiology will help convince you. If you need to know your heart rate with accuracy when exercising, either because you are training for a marathon or have safe heart rate limits set by your doctor, perhaps due to coronary artery disease, heart failure, or other heart conditions, wrist-worn monitors are less accurate than the standard chest strap. How much less accurate? Back to the article. The chest strap monitor closely matched readings from the electrocardiogram, which is the gold standard for measuring the heart's activity. Talking about wrist-based monitors, it says, "We found these devices can equally over and underestimate heart rate. The error ranged from plus or minus 34 beats per minute to plus or minus 15 beats per minute, depending on the type of activity. Y'all, if accuracy matters and we're talking about a wiggle room of at least 15 beats per minute, plus or minus, which really means that we got a 30 beat per minute window of accuracy, up to 34 beats per minute plus or minus, a 68 beat per minute window? Y'all, come on. Still not quite sure, still uncertain whether it's worth throwing down the cash to get yourself a heart rate strap? Well, unless your skin tone is translucent, check out this article from the Journal of the American College of Cardiology. Overall, 40% of studies found a significant reduction of accuracy of heart rate measurements with wearable devices in darker skinned individuals when compared to participants with lighter skin tones and or gold standard measurements such as ECG or chest strap monitoring. I don't know how much more clear it can get. If you're serious about heart rate training and you recognize that having an accurate measurement of your heart rate during activity, during training, actually matters, it feels like it's a slam dunk. The monitor on your watch is great for kind of keeping track of your overall heart rate trends throughout the day. Maybe measuring resting heart rate overnight, even though it still doesn't measure your heart rate exactly. I mean, it gives you a ballpark. And in that situation, overall resting heart rate, it does, if we're off a little bit, it's not that big of a deal. But while you're training, while you're building your base, while you're slowing down in an effort to get faster, which is what heart rate training is all about, accuracy is so important. It matters. A few beats per minute, one way or the other, especially if you get a little bit too high on the effort scale, it's gonna diminish the progress you're making. It's gonna be detrimental to your long-term health and fitness goals. And that's why I can't recommend strongly enough investing in your running, investing in yourself by investing in a heart rate strap, and stop relying on your wrist-based monitor to measure your heart rate while training for whatever your next event might be. As always, if you have any questions related to this video or anything else heart rate training related, please let me know. Feel free to leave a comment down below. Slide into my DMs on Twitter or Instagram. Shoot me an email. Whatever works best for you works for me, and I'll do my best to clear it up for you and help you move forward with your heart rate training goals.